Hello, welcome to Entrepreneurial Finance. I'm Professor Larry Louie, and I will be going through 10 classes with you over the course of this module. Before I get started, I want to go through kind of the background of this field and how we're going to structure this class. Then jump in right into the material with chapters 1 and 3, the first being an intro and the second being legal aspects of entrepreneurial finance. So why do I teach this class? Well, when I went through my MBA program a few years ago, I took every single entrepreneurship class offered, and I did not learn entrepreneurial finance. It was only after graduation and when I had a startup that was venture-backed that I really had to understand how term sheets worked and how dilution worked. And this is the kind of material that I think is essential for all entrepreneurs to know, hopefully before they need it. In some respects, when I was learning material, I was using live bullets. They were real term sheets with real financing. And it's what we're going to do in this class is to walk you through in a more simulated way how you would finance your business from the very start of your idea all the way through to hopefully a successful exit. So we don't want that to be you in anguish, at least over the financing side. The course objectives are to prepare you to go through the stairway to heaven. Now, that might mean you as an entrepreneur, but it might also be you as a provider of financing or as a supporter of startups. First, we see that there are challenges that are faced by entrepreneurial ventures at different stages. Second, that there are alternatives by each stage. Third is that there are financial and legal aspects of financing for this size of companies that's quite different than what we typically learn in MBA and master's programs. And there are some financial analysis and projection techniques, again, unique to this size of entity, because frankly, we don't have much to go on. It's one thing to have an existing business with lots of history and a lot of competitive data, but we don't have that in a startup. So how do we cope with those glaring issues of lack of data? Our learning approach, and I've used this for a few years now successfully, is called the flipped classroom. And most of you have been in my classes, so you know how this works. But if you haven't, what we do is before you come to class, you watch the lecture. And the basic idea is, why waste our time together with a lecture? When I can do a lecture like this over the video, you can watch it, rewatch it, pause it, and when you enter class, you're now ready to delve into the material rather than hearing it for the first or maybe second time. While we're in class, we're going to do cases and problem sets and discussion so we can start applying your learning firsthand in a more kind of informal, experiential way. Then afterwards, you're going to prove to me and yourself that you know the material by doing some written assignments that utilize what we have learned in the videos and also in our time together. And then we're going to repeat that cycle a few times, and before you know it, you'll be an expert in venture finance. All right? But the key is, do not fall behind and do not skip videos. If you do not watch the video and you walk into class, you'll be staring at the ceiling. If you come into class and have not read the cases, we're going to go right off into the cases and you'll be lost in your classes. Will you pass? There's a chance that you'll pass because you do well on your final exam, but your learning experience would be far hampered if you don't do this basic level of preparation.